Well, good morning, fellow patriots. Good morning. Welcome to the 353rd consecutive Friday meeting of the East Valley Red Friday Patriots. Thank you for joining us this morning to support the mission of R.E.D, to remember everyone deployed, those 248,000 men and women serving our nation in 172 countries around the world. I don't think that anyone would disagree that our service members desperately need and deserve the support of the American people at this very moment as we engage a long-standing enemy who, given the opportunity, would prefer the annihilation of the American people. So I applaud each of you for demonstrating your unyielding support for America's warfighters. I wish to share with you a message delivered by the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to the Joint Force on the current mission at hand. You know, the current military offensive underway, Operation Epic Fury, is not without risk of life. That was made very clear by our Commander-in-Chief when he addressed the American people following the initial strike on Iran. Every warrior understands the risk when sent into battle, whether it be in a combat arms role, combat support, or combat service and support. Whether on the front line or behind the line, the arm of lethality is long, more so today than at any time in history. To date, American casualties are extraordinarily light, but even one life lost is too many. Earlier this week, the Department of War identified 6 of the service members killed in an unmanned drone attack in Port Shaibai, Kuwait on March 1 while supporting Operation Epic Fury. All 6 soldiers were assigned to the 103rd Sustainment Command based in Des Moines, Iowa. The 6 soldiers identified are Captain Cody Cork, 35 of Winter Haven, Florida; Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore, 39 of White Bear Lake, Minnesota; Sergeant First Class Noah Tegens, 42 of Bellevue, Nebraska; Sergeant Declan Cody, 20 years of age, of West Des Moines, Iowa; Major Jeffrey R. O'Brien, 45 years of age, of Indianola, Iowa; and Chief Warrant Officer 3, Robert M. Marzan, 54 of Sacramento, California. Please join me in a moment of silent prayer for these lost soldiers, for their families, and for the success of Operation Epic Fury and the safe return of all our deployed warriors. Please join me in the pledge to Old Glory. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As many of you know, on the first Friday of each month, we recognize our Red Friday members who are celebrating a birthday during the course of the month. So at this time, those of you Aries and Pisces born in the month of March, please stand. We got a few of you here. Happy birthday to you. March birthdays, thank you very much. Can I have a hoo-ah for these birthday celebrants? You know, we also want to recognize the folks who volunteered to supply us with the sweet treats. These sweet treats were put out in recognition of the birthday celebrant, so I would ask Karen and Ted Confederate to please stand. These are the folks that supplied you with the sweet treats this morning. Can I have a hoo-ah for these folks? Also, I just want to take this moment to thank Judy Overmeyer back here in the back. Raise your hand, Judy. Judy assisted with our greeting team this morning in the absence of a couple of folks that were unable to join us. So thank you, Judy, for your assistance. Really do appreciate it. You know, I know that many of us here are proud parents, and as parents, we often reflect on memorable events that involved our kids, especially when they were quite young. I know I do quite often. Well, here the other day, I reminisced about an event that occurred long ago, right after my daughter had started first grade in elementary school. And like many youngsters at that age, my daughter was quite inquisitive. And one morning on the way to school, she asked my wife a question. She said, "Mommy, how did the human race begin?" My wife said, "Well, dear, God made Adam and Eve. They had lots of children. And so all of mankind was really made starting with Adam and Eve." Well, my daughter pondered on her mother's answer, but the next day, my daughter asked me the same question. She said, "Pop, how did the human race begin?" I said, "It's like this, baby girl. Many years ago, there were monkeys that really liked to make babies. And from the monkeys, the human race came to be." Well, apparently, this really confused my daughter. Since both my wife and I were asked the same question, but gave different answers. So the next day, my daughter returned to my wife and said, "Mommy, you said human beings were created by Adam and Eve, but Pop said we evolved from monkeys. Which is it?" My wife said, "Well, dear, it's really very simple. I told you about my side of the family, and your daddy told you about his." So I ask you, are any of you familiar with the Latin term "Daetat Deus"? Well, Daetat Deus is the Latin motto of Arizona. Translated, it means God enriches. That motto was adopted during the territorial period around 1863, and it was reaffirmed upon statehood in 1912. It appears on the Great Seal of Arizona. It symbolizes divine providence, spiritual and material abundance, and the state's natural resources. The phrase also appears in the center of the badge of the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, Daetat Deus. And joining us this morning are law enforcement officers representing the Pinal County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit who proudly wear that badge with the motto, Daetat Deus. The Pinal County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit uses specially trained dogs for narcotics detection, the apprehension of suspects, handler protection, as well as for tracking. The K-9 unit currently has 7 K-9s, serving the department with 5 K-9s working the road, 2 canines working within the detention facility. Canine teams working the roads have a primary function of combating and interdicting illegal narcotics that are being smuggled through Pinal County into local communities. The jail canines are utilized to prevent contraband from entering the detention center and act as a deterrent to avoid conflicts between inmates and staff. Canine units maintain high proficiency through continually training to ensure accuracy and trust in patrol deployments. The narcotics that the canines are trained to detect are heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl. And since all contraband is illegal within the Sheriff's Office detention centers, the canines that work within the jail are also certified to detect marijuana. Along with drug detection, canines serve as a visual tool in law enforcement to locate and apprehend serious and violent fleeing felons. We should take note that very recently, the canine unit received a unit citation from the department. The unit citation is awarded for exceptional teamwork, bravery, or significant contributions that enhance public safety and service to our community. It is awarded for outstanding performance during a critical incident or through continuous dedicated service. The canine unit's representatives joining us this morning are Pinal County Sheriff's Officers Kenneth Nardelli and Dan McLean. Officer McLean is a detention canine handler who currently runs a dual-purpose Belgian Malinois named Tybo. Officer McLean has 19 years with the Sheriff's Department and has been in the canine unit for 17 of those 19 years. He serves as the lead trainer for the unit and has trained and certified multiple canine teams with the Pinal County and other canine teams nationwide. Officer Nardelli is currently the canine unit supervisor. He has 18 years invested in law enforcement, with 16 of those years with Pinal County. Officer Nardelli has been a handler for 10 years and has served as the canine unit supervisor for 2 years. He currently runs a single-purpose narcotics detection canine named Nova. Combined, these two outstanding law enforcement officers have served our community for almost 4 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Pinal County Sheriff's Officers Ken Nardelli and Dan McLean.
I want to introduce, so this is my sergeant, Sergeant Ken Nardelli, and they went over his bio, and he is, he's a great asset. He's just like everyone else who's had supervisors. He's the one that makes sure we has all the equipment that we need and all the training that we want, and he gets to hear us cry all the time. So
that is true.
But
good morning. Like Dan said, my name is Ken Nardelli. I am the current supervisor for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Canine Unit. It's a canine criminal interdiction unit, so we do have one guy in my unit that does not have a dog with him. His primary function is like the photo you saw up there, is just to go find contraband on the highways. I have 18 years of law enforcement experience, probably not to some of the pedigree that's in this room, but my first law enforcement job, I worked 2 years with Salt River Indian Reservation as an officer there. Felt there was limited opportunity for growth. I came to the Sheriff's Office in 2009. Once I came over here, I wanted to be a motor cop. Wear the little Darth Vader boots that comes up to your knees. And then I realized Arizona's way too hot, and I'm like, I don't want to be on a motorcycle. So I heard the canine unit chasing, back in the day, marijuana loads were the popular thing, thousands of pounds of weed through the desert. So I called the sergeant. I said, hey, I want to do a ride. And we good? And one lovely night out by Gila Bend, jumped in a canine ride, asked me if I was scared of the dark, and I said no, handed me a pair of nods, and we drove around Interstate 8 in the desert, blacked out, looking for smugglers. And it was the best time of my life, and I said, yep, I'm done being a traffic cop, I want to go be a canine handler. So I transitioned my career, and in 2012, I tested, got a position here in the sheriff's office as a handler. And I did about 10 years doing that. I left the canine unit in 2022 for my own personal reasons. I wasn't kicked out. I didn't do anything wrong. I went and became a detective in our anti-smuggling unit, worked the back end of those cases after the drugs are found on the street. And then I promoted as a supervisor in 2023, did a year on patrol. You guys know where like Oracle and San Manuel is at? They stuck me out in the boonies. Didn't want to see me, put me out at graveyards. And then about a year after that, they opened this position up. Wanted to change direction with the current supervisor. I had experience. The previous one did not. He was not a handler. So they wanted somebody that had handling experience to take over the unit. And ever since then, September 2024, I've been here. As far as my career goes, you've had 4?
4.
Dan's had 4 dogs. I'm on dog number 5. It's not because we don't like the dogs. It's just stuff happens. First dog was already trained when I came in the unit. Second dog I lost for medical issues. Third dog, he still currently serves in the unit. It was cool to still see him progressing here now as a supervisor. And then when I took a dog from a handler, do you guys ever know a bird dog, German Shorthair Pointer? Yeah, not a really good police dog. So got rid of that dog, and then I don't know if some of you kind of saw me try to bring in my new dog. Her name is Nova. She's a 3-year-old Malinois. Unlike all the other dogs in the unit, she is a single-purpose dog. Her job solely is to detect narcotics. Those 4 odors that Mr. Nations ran off earlier, she is only cocaine, meth, heroin, and fentanyl. She does not train to detect marijuana, and that's her only purpose with the department currently, and she does not like crowds. So, which is not a big deal because we don't work crowd control. We don't work in areas, so if I were to come sniff this room, you would probably all be out of the room, and she can come do her thing. So it's not a big concern to me, but I'm probably not going to bring her in here, not because I don't want to, because she doesn't want to. So, other than that, I'll have Dan bring his dog in here shortly so you can see a dog work, do some obedience, see how we do that, some narcotics detection. Because of the limited space, we are not going to do any bite work. I do not need it to fill out any more paperwork like the admin guy was saying. Like, I don't need to do industrials. We just got done doing a new handler, and he got bit twice in like 3 months. So I think risk management was like, hey, you guys need to knock it off. And I'm like, well, you tell that to the dog. Like, that's not my thing, you know? As far as their dogs are concerned, all the dogs are bred pretty much in Europe, and then they take that 20-hour plane ride over to the United States where they go to certain vendors across the country. Currently, right now, we use about 3 vendors. We're looking to expand on that. So when we're ready to replace a dog or get a new dog in the unit, we use vendors in California, Arkansas, or Indiana. So it's a little bit of travel time for us. We drive there. It's kind of hard to fly with a dog and coordinate all that stuff. As far as Nova is concerned, she's a rescue from Vegas and ended up in California. So we don't know too much of her history, but we look to see that good bloodline from the dogs when they come over from Europe. So we know that their longevity is good, their health is good, and stuff like that. So. Man, you're already reading my mind. That was the next. I was going to transition right into that. So yeah, cost of a dog. So here at the sheriff's office, Dan is our lead trainer. We do all of our stuff in-house with our dogs. So we do take stuff from other agencies and kind of implement it in our program if we have concerns with the dogs. But we buy green dogs, kind of like they don't know anything. Some of them do know how to bite, but that's about it. Green dogs usually average about $900 to $9,500 per dog. If we wanted to invest in a dog that's fully trained already and has like a European sporting title, they can range anywhere from $13,000 to $18,000 for a dog. So they're pretty expensive tools, to the point where the agency calls them a capital asset. So they're not looked at like us. They're like a piece of equipment to the department. As far as how we pay for the dogs, there's a couple avenues that we use. We have a donation account that we can use to pay for the dog, or recently, the last 3 dogs that we've gotten in the department, I've written up proposals to our administration and our county attorney's office and used seized assets. So the money that we're taking from the smugglers on the street, we're buying dogs to find more of their stuff. So haven't had any issues with that. So thanks. So it is really good that resource is there for us to use, as long as it's going towards a tool or an asset that can be beneficial for the sheriff's office. So once we get a dog back to the sheriff's office, we don't just start working them right away. I know Dan and I can contest to this. We don't want to get bit by dogs when we don't have to, because we've all been bit several times. There's usually a bonding period of about 2 to 3 weeks. We want the handler and the dog to kind of get to know each other, play with each other, no working. So just kind of chill, get him right around in the car, get him used to the new environment that he's going to be working in. Similar to like Nova here, if I were to expose her to this over and over again, it'll get to a point where she'll be fine. But she's still pretty new. I've only had her for about 7 or 8 months, like I said. Once they go through that bonding period, then we start their training. We start with narcotics detection training. Pretty cool. I have a license from the DEA. I keep dope at my office. Yeah. So we have 4 kits with smaller amounts of narcotics odors, ranging from 2 or 3 grams up to 30 grams, which is like an ounce. And then I also have bulk of the odors, 2 or 3 pounds of heroin, coke, meth, and all the good stuff, all the party stuff, right? And how we start the initial training is with this lovely piece of equipment right here. Cost me like $16 for 12 of them. It's this bar mop towel. We roll these, looks like a Tootsie Roll. We keep them in buckets of our bulk narcotics, so the buckets have like 2 or 3 pounds of the odor, and this towel right here absorbs that odor. And the initial training for the dog, we'll take him into a room like this or an open area, and we'll just play fetch with a towel that smells like drugs. And what have we taught the dog now? To retrieve and odor association. So we're printing that odor onto the dog. Once they find it, they come back to daddy, and they play, and now we just establish that pack order, right? So he knows that every time that he finds a towel, he gets to go play. And then once they're good on the towels, then we start introducing the actual narcotics. We'll hide them in the rooms, on the cars, open areas, and we'll work that. And then usually it takes about a month to get a dog fully certified on narcotics. It's all fun. There's no negativity with that, so it's pretty easy for it. And as we get through the narcotics program, that's when we start obedience. Obedience is our foundation for our patrol work. We run all of our dogs off leash, so if you call us to come search your house for a bad guy because somebody broke in, I'm just going to open your front door and send the dog in there, and I run everything off of an electronic collar like Dan has next to his radio right there. So we're a little bit different when it comes to other agencies. Other agencies like to use a 30-foot leash. We like to let the dog work independently, whereas that's a safety thing for us. If I can clear this room with a dog off of a leash so I'm not tethered to a 30-foot line, and I'm out here and he finds a bad guy that starts shooting, we're pretty safe. Dog can go do his thing, and we know now where the bad guy's at. So. And also, you see how many tables and chairs are in here? You ever try to run a dog on a leash, especially a Malinois that's psychotic? We would take half the tables and chairs with us back outside on a leash. So we've discovered that it's more beneficial for us to do it offline. The program that we run is it's called TAC Dogs. That's our patrol-based program. It has 10 disciplines. The dog and the handler has to complete each one of those disciplines before they can move on. And usually 9 and 10 is the last, that's your engagements where they're physically going to bite decoys and working actual scenarios. And once they pass all through 10 of those, then we'll certify them in a patrol work. So the dogs that are dual purpose, they'll have a narcotics certification and a patrol apprehension certification. TAC Dogs is founded out of Denver. Pretty good program. It was implemented and created by a Denver SWAT operator. So all he ran was a Malinois that bit everybody. So if you want a patrol dog, that's the program you want to go with, right? A guy that averages 300 bites a year. We are not as busy with bites. We seem to have a lot of people give up. It's kind of sad. Like that's the payday for the dog. Whether it's deputies that mess that up or the guys just give up. We don't have that many bites, but we do have a lot of fines where people hear the dog or the dog will find somebody, and then next thing the person's like, yeah, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done with this. And then as far as the dogs are concerned, we have 5, like Mr. Nations was saying in the intro. We have 5 that work the streets, 2 that work our jail facility. The 6 dogs that are dual purpose are trained exactly the same. So I could literally take Dan's dog and bring him to the road, and he would be able to do anything that a road dog can do. So it's nice having that ability, and it's very good for the jail as well to keep the staff safe. And I know we don't like the inmates, but we got to keep them safe as well. So if they are fighting or something like that, the dog has been a great deterrent in there. Dan's dog a little smaller. He's about 70 pounds, 75. The other jail dog's about 95 pounds. The dog barks. His muscles just are everywhere. So it's really good to have them in the jail facility. And then on the sworn side, on the road, I'm the only one with the single purpose dog. Just like the admin guy was saying back there, I spend half my week in the office working on proposals and other crap like that. That was boring. I didn't think that I signed up to be a sergeant sitting in the office half the day because I like working in the street and being out there with my guys, but I got to do paperwork. The other 4 dogs are dual purpose. They are our patrol dogs. They're out there working the streets, looking for bad guys, finding the dope. And 2 of those dogs are actually fully integrated with our SWAT team. Our SWAT team is regional, so it's composed of several agencies. Casa Grande, Maricopa, Coolidge, Florence, and Pinal County is the lead anchor on that one. We used to share time with Casa Grande for canine services, but they got rid of them, so now it's just our unit that handles it. It's a lot of stress for my guys. They are worked a lot, but we are hoping to keep developing that relationship, add more dogs to the program for SWAT. Because having that asset there where if we deploy and we want to keep everybody safe, my mantra is we're going to put the paws in there before the boots, because I can replace a tool. I can't replace a family member. So that's where our dogs come in really beneficial. Tech is starting to take over some of that cool stuff from us. Drones are now becoming the cool thing. But the nice thing about a drone, they'll tell us where the bad guy is and we'll just send the dog right there. It makes it a lot quicker. As far as the primary function of the unit, I know you saw a photo up there of some drugs on a car. Our job is pretty much, primary mission is criminal interdiction. Interdiction is the intercepting of any criminal activity that's on the streets, right? So yes, we do look for the drug loads, but as far as criminals are concerned, if somebody has felony warrants, murder warrants, stolen vehicles, we do all that on the highway or on the city streets, depending on where we're working that day. All of our vehicles are equipped with license plate readers. I don't know if you guys have any feelings on that one, but we love the license plate readers. It helps us determine the routes of travel for some of these smugglers, and also helps discover inconsistencies in their stories, which we use against them. So we are very good on, we like the technology. And then most recently, our unit has, in the last couple of months, we've taken about 1,100 pounds of meth off the street. So that seems to be the new party drug. It kind of goes in waves. We'll see a lot of fentanyl, and then it'll shift over to meth, or it'll shift over to coke. It really just depends on supply and demand of basically the areas where the drugs are going to. So right now, meth is popular. So all the dogs do live with the handlers. We provide them with an exterior kennel. We're not as fancy as some of the municipalities. We don't have air conditions out there for them. Doghouse fans, shade, that's the outside kennel. And then when it gets too hot, we have an interior crate they can stay in, especially when it gets to be 115 outside. And then all of our vehicles are basically equipped with a kennel in the back. We don't have an area to put prisoners. And then we also have upgraded our heat alarm systems. When I took over, the old systems we were using were the pager remote that you would wear on your belt. And if my car was literally parked right outside this door and I stepped in this building, it would lose communication with the car. Not a good thing when it's hot here. So everything now is off cellular. So when my car gets too hot, it will call me. So it's pretty nice. As far as family life is concerned, all of our dogs, we look for social ability. We do not want man-eaters. That old school law enforcement mindset of you can't touch a police dog because it's going to rip your arm off, kind of out the window. We want that socialization from the animal. So same thing with like bonding with the handler. We let them kind of grow and bond with the family. So like Nova out there, she's good with my 3 kids. They can let her out. She goes swimming. She plays with my healer. So, I mean, they're pretty good about turning the switch on and off. They know when it's work time. They know when it's home time. So that's really good. As far as the working life of the dog, usually it depends. You're going to see the oldest dog we have right here. Usually it's about 8 to 9 years. Once they get about 8, 9 years old, we look at retiring them. So Dan will bring in Tabo. He'll talk about Tabo. And then once they retire, the handler has the option to adopt that dog. We give the handler the first option. If for some reason, personal life, or they have other dogs at the house that maybe that animal does not really jive with, then it opens up to members of the department. If nobody in the department wants a dog, which we haven't had yet, then we open it up to the public. The problem that I see with that, or the concern that I have with that, is the dog doesn't forget all the training we put into it. So if you don't have experience with a Mal that's trained to go locate and bite people, it could be an issue for you. Especially, we have some escape artists that they can get out of their kennels. So we haven't had any incidents yet, but we've had dogs right over kennel, right over fence. And the guy that lives in Marana, one of our deputies, his dog jumped the kennel, jumped the wall, and he went out to go let him out. And he's like, "Where the hell is my dog?" And he hears the construction workers next door working on a house, and the dog's just hanging out with them. So, I mean, there's their social ability, right? So here's a dog that can go train and bite people, but he knows he's not working right now. So he's like, "Hey, what are these guys doing?" He leaves his kennel, leaves his house. So we had to make sure we secure that up. So now a lot of our kennels have roofs on them now, so it kind of prevents that escape because they're mouths. I know Dan had issues with Tabo. Nova, the little sweet girl that's in the truck right there, is a menace in a crate. I guess my 5th dog, she does not like to be in a crate. First plastic crate she destroyed. Then the black wired crate she destroyed and ate up my laundry room. And then the 3rd crate looked like a shark thing, where you would get in a shark thing and go down in the ocean and pet sharks. She destroyed that too, to the point where her top canines were gone to the gum line. So good thing she ain't a bite dog, because she would already be gone, because she doesn't have any canines left. They extracted them all. That's a great question. So the question was, do we prefer females or males? It doesn't matter. So when we go to these vendors to look at dogs, if we're looking for a dual purpose canine, the vendor will provide us a list of the dogs we can look at, and then we test all the dogs. So if the dog passes all of our testing, believe it or not, if we go to a kennel that has like 20 or 30 dogs, only like 2 or 3 will pass our test, because we look for certain things that all dogs don't have. And if it's a female that ends up in the top 2 or 3, usually it's a discussion between me, the trainer, and the handler that's going to get that dog, of what dog we should make that final decision on. It doesn't matter. Now, my first dog was a psychotic female Dutch Shepherd. Yeah. And Dan can attest to that, because he's been here a lot longer than me.
We all know that the females they're meaner.
Yeah. She was 62 pounds of pure fire.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where her photo is still on the vendor's website in San Antonio, where she is flying through the air and the dude is 6'4", and he is like this, and she is coming in from up here. So she was a firecracker, to the point, too, where if I did a traffic stop and get out of my car, she would shake the Tahoe side to side. So it doesn't matter, female or male, if they have that drive in them, and for us, if they have that courage in them, because we look for that fight or flight. If they don't want to stand up for themselves without us around, we don't want that dog. So we look for that dog that works independently and that has that ability to do that. So, I mean, it really depends on the vendor. Some do puppies all the way up to they're able to sell them. So for us, when we go look for a dog, we're looking for that sweet spot about 15 months to 24 months or 2 years old. We don't want to go too young because you all have had kids here. I'm sure you had pets here too. Puppies and babies, they don't really retain information and they don't listen. So we wait till they're a little bit older, but we don't want to go too old because then it cuts into their working life. So any dog that's about 3 years or older at a kennel, one, my first question is going to be, why is that dog still here? Was he returned? Is there an issue with him? And two, now he's already cut into his working life because he's over 3, and we look for that 8 to 9 years old. So I want some dog that's going to be able to go at least 5 or 6 years with the sheriff's office because it's a lot of training, it's a lot of investment into that handler team. Yes, sir.
Why do you go to Europe for your dogs?
I don't go to Europe, but if they want to send me to Europe, I would love to go to Europe. That's where a lot of the European breeders are for these animals. That's where that breed originates from. There is vendors here in the United States, but they don't have, or breeders here that they don't have the reputability yet. So we go overseas for those dogs. They bring them here. I wish we could go overseas, but usually the vendor that we've been using, he will send us videos of the dogs that he's going to get in, and we have a game plan of what dogs we want to look at when we go out there. So it's a little bit cheaper for the department. We just rent a minivan for $300 and drive over there. So
The other problem is here in the United States, a lot of the dog breeders, they're bred for aesthetics. They want that beautiful looking dog that has all the proper lines and everything. So there's a lot of inbreeding going on. And with inbreeding, you have a lot of medical issues through their midlife. And medical issues create downtime for us, and it's also not cost effective for the department.
they come named. Yeah, for the most part. So like Nova, that was her kind of nickname. Her legal name was Galactica. And I'm not calling a dog Galactica the whole way. And then when we were in California, they called her Blackie because she was all black. And I'm like, that is not politically correct. We can't have that either. So Nova it is. Good question. So it really depends on where the dog is from Europe. So if they're from like the Netherlands or Germany, that's the language that the dog is going to communicate in. So all of our dogs right now are in Dutch commands, except for Nova. She's English command. Go find it. Kind of different than the military. The military is English because we're going overseas where they don't speak English, right? So for us, we use whatever commands the dog has coming over from Europe. So we've only had one Czech dog, and that was some weird commands. We haven't had French. French is if you ever want to go on the internet and Google French dog commands, you'll get a kick. It's some funny stuff.
Right.
What's up?
Do you ever have to have remedial training for your dogs?
Remedial, like do we continue training after the initial stuff? Yes, we do. So every Wednesday, our unit gets together and we train. Not only do we train our unit, we have Florence PD K9 that works with us as well. We're responsible for training her. And then Bureau of Indian Affairs, federal K9, we train with him as well. And then, we good? All right. Also, recently we just started a new thing that our department loves. We're doing regional canine training events, so we're getting all the canine teams from Pinal County and the surrounding areas together once every quarter. And the last one that we had about 40 to 45 canine teams there. And basically we'll set up real life scenarios for those teams to run. And when I say real life, we'll bring in Gila County. If they had a pursuit with a bite, they're going to bring that scenario down, and we're going to have all the canine teams run through that. So yeah, the training never stops. It's daily with these dogs. But we do have mandated training that we like to do. And then also certification, nation standard or national standard is once a year for a canine. They have to recertify as a team. We do it twice a year just to make sure that our proficiency is good when we're deploying these dogs on the street. The nice thing about the vets that we go to, Santan takes care of all the Chandler PD dogs, so they have vets that know how to work with the working dogs, and vice versa. And Tucson, they work all the Pima County Tucson PD dogs. So we have strategically picked vets that know how to work with working dogs, because we've had issues in the past where somebody looks at it more like a pet, and it's like, well, I just need to know the dog can work. If he can work through whatever's going on right now, we're good. If he needs to be retired, we got to retire him. But they seem to be more on the softer side, where it's like these dogs are pretty hard. Recently we had one of our new dogs doing a search, and he sliced the front of his leg open, and it was artery. And he was squirting blood out. They packed it, wrapped him, and that dog still worked that entire incident. And then when he was engaging where the decoy was, they're like, hey, he's bleeding. So the dog didn't even care. So, that's just the mindset of these animals, that you told me to go do something. I want my payday. I want my reward. I want to make you happy. They'll work through anything for us. So,
and as you can see, as Tabo's just sitting up here, he'll start after a little bit goes by and I'm not giving any commands for him to do something. He'll start looking for work. He wants to work. He wants to find that toy. Some of you have dogs at home where they'll play with the ball all day long. Oh.
He just wants to see me.
That's the principle we're looking for, those dogs that just have that drive to work all the time. And we found Mals are very, very hardy. They'll work through almost any condition, and they love to play.
Go find some taupe, Tabo.
You ready? Let's go find some.
And he found dope right there. You have a towel for him?
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. Oh, that's a good boy.
And then first thing he'll do, he comes to me because everything he's done all through his life has been associated with play. So as soon as he finds that odor, he gets rewarded, and he's like, let's go play.
Yeah, Tabo yesterday found, on our area search, found the dope, got himself his towel, and Dan was kind of hiding behind us, and Tabo comes into the group of where all the handlers are standing, and he's looking at all of us. He's like, none of you are my dad. He wouldn't play with any of us. And then once he saw Dan, right to dad. So that's that pack drive. He knows that dad is Dan, and that's first person I need to go see and play with after I get my toy.
And then one of the primary tools that all of you women know out there is we got to have an obedient dog, right? Obedient husband. So everything I do, reward-based, right? You guys could take this home, send it towels.
Yeah.
But everything I ask of Tabo, I follow.
Yeah, he is married, yes.
Off. Yes. He has towels, balls. I change it up. He has never food, no sir.
Towel bag. So when Dan was talking about having a dog in the facility, our jail dogs, and I just give them props because the handlers work so much with them, and because they're having to bring them into the facility with a bunch of people around, their obedience is top notch. Dan does pretty much everything off leash, just like you see Tabo here right now.
Off.
And the one nice thing about the jail dogs, why Tabo can work so long, he doesn't get bounced around in a car all day like our dogs do. So.
Good boy. So, and that is a great thing is, we talked about the part everybody likes is that bite work. When they go,
Bull in a china shop.
Here. Out. Follow. Off. We talked about that bite work when we actually send the dog in to engage a suspect, and say we go into a building and we're responsible for that suspect once they get bit. So we can actually, once we get control of that, we can just call the dog off. The dog will actually come off the bite, come back to us, and come back into a guard. So real valuable tool. The other thing we do teach the dogs is that when they bite that suspect, they hold on. We'll have people come in, the dog will be getting rolled and thrown around, and they just stay there and wait till they're told to either come off or they get taken off.
Yep.
Oh,
They'll bite through the skin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get tear marks and hands reconstructed and all kinds of good stuff. But with that, the dogs, they don't bite out of fear. They don't bite out of anger. They bite because they don't have hands. And we teach them what we call bite and hold. So they just bite and they hold on. So when you see dogs engaged in a bite or something on TV, you'll see their tail wagging. They're happy as could be. They're just there playing with their team, you know? So it's a great thing to see when you come in and your dog's on that suspect and their tail's just wagging and they're happy as could be. You got a big report to write, but it's worth it.
Yes, sir. We have lost none.
And we've been very
I came
fortunate.
close on a SWAT deployment. Dog got shot at as I put him through the window. Luckily, he did not get hit, and he engaged the suspect and stayed on that bite till the SWAT team breached the door and was able to go in there and take the dude into custody. I was at the back of the stack because I didn't have the fancy helmet and all the good vests that they had. I recalled my dog out of that room. He ran by all the SWAT team members, came right back to me, and I checked him for holes, and I was like, I don't know how he didn't get hit, because he went through the window and literally tracked him. You could see where all the rounds went. So that was probably the closest we've came to losing a dog, and that was in October, and then the dog got sick in January. So it was like that kind of a Final Destination movie. Like, he probably should have went that night, and then karma caught up to him, and he passed away in February. So it was like 4 months after that incident. So
No, that's the way they come. Pointy
Yeah.
eared dogs, yeah.
yeah, we put the order in just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I draw a picture and everything. No. No, we don't want to. All the shepherd breeds, their ears stand up. They're not a flop-eared.
Yeah, your floppy-eared dogs are not your bite dogs. Those are your detection, tracking, cadaver, missing person dog. Any other questions? I think we're pretty much ready to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for having us come out.
Follow.
Appreciate the time.
Yes.
There you go.
Gentlemen, we want
Follow.
to take this opportunity to present each of you with a
Out.
certificate of appreciation and
Thank you.
welcoming you to the Order of R.E.D. And this is a recognition and commendation for your honorable community service, veteran support initiatives, and support of the East Valley Red Friday Patriots.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
One moment.
yes, thank you. All right.
We would also like, Richard, we'd also like to present you with a Red Friday lapel pin. And this is certainly something I hope that you'll be able to wear occasionally when you're in civies. And it's a little memento of our appreciation for your service to our community.
Yeah, that's good for Class A uniform, not this. Well, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Absolutely.
Thank you.
We do have a few announcements, and we're going to start with a important program announcement from Nancy Fassbender. Nancy?
What I wanted to speak with you guys about just a short while is I have a nonprofit organization. It's called Arizona Veterans Honor Tour. And it's a 501c nonprofit organization. And what we do is we look for veterans who are involved in their communities. And it's like what you do if you volunteer in your church, your community, or even other veterans programs. Instead of a plaque or a certificate that we always thank you for, we are going to reward the veterans to a trip to Branson, Missouri for 5 days. And it is going to be an all-expense-paid trip. And I have a rough itinerary that we put on, and it covers the transportation, the food, and the entertainment. And we select 15 each year is what we're going to do. And you'll get to meet the students in the College of the Ozarks. And if you're interested, I would like you to sign up. I have a spreadsheet over here that will help you sign up. Unfortunately, this year we have 15 right now, but I would like you to sign up still for standbys in case one of them drops out. Or next year we will be looking for 15 more. But how do we raise our money for this trip? Of course, we have sponsorships. And, of course, Reach Across America, we still work with that. We have 2 cemeteries that we do. And I have those order forms, too, if you're interested. But I have another a fundraiser that is rather fun. And I wanted to let you know in the R.E.D program who is coming on our trip. And would you please come up to the stage when I announce you? But these cute little cartoon people they have buckets, and they're going to start handing out cards. And you're familiar, some of you guys are familiar because the Daughters of American Revolution did this last October. And what this is it's free. All we ask is for your valuable time. You don't have to dig in your pockets to donate or anything. You just do this, this fundraiser. And the cards, which are on you can take them home and spread them out. And it's a national survey is what it is. And it's wanting you to survey the national chains like Best Buy. And so what you do is on the back there's instructions, but this nationwide will not advertise your names or give this out. This is a protective survey. It's fun to do. And I've lost my notes here for a second. On March 9th at 10 o'clock is when you start doing this. And you put your name in the login and stuff. And then during the registration, you just provide your name and your address. You do not need to put your phone number down unless you want to be reminded how many you can do. Now, you only can do 25 a day, and it's up to the max is 75. So how I did it for the Daughters of American Revolution is I turned on the football game and put my feet up, grabbed my drink, and started doing my survey. And they only ask 5 questions, and they're just happy faces. That's all they are, just happy faces. And it's like, well, were you greeted at the door? Yes or no? Well, you put a happy face or a sad face. Did you find an item in stock? Happy face or sad face? So on March 9th, which is Monday, at 10 o'clock, you can access this, and you can either that or you can get on your phone and type in that 90412, and it will pull up on the website, and then you just type in the DFG and you send it in, and that's when the whole website will pop up. Now, what I'm excited about is that normally non-profit organizations only cap out at 5,000. I was given 15,000. You know why? Because we're veterans as well as we're over 50. And they want to hear from you. Now, how many people are from another state that has an address in another state? If you wouldn't mind using that zip code when they ask you what zip code you're from, put that zip code in. Because then they know that the national survey, they sell your opinion to the national organization, the vendors. And so it's helpful. And at the end of this month, you only have 30 days to do this. And so it's again from March 9th through April 7th. And that's how we get our monies is from them. So each vendor that you answer a question on, our organization gets paid $1.60. And if you do 75, we get paid $120. And that mounts up rather quickly. And I thank Karen over here for helping me get this going, because she's the one who's the dynamite to help me. And if I will have a raffle each week. So the people who do 25 questions on the first week, you'll be put in a raffle. Now, if you do 50 the first week, you'll get, 2 names in the raffle. And of course, 75, if you want to get it over with and done with, hey, bless you. You get your 3 names, and each week I will be drawing out a name. And so if you're in there 3 times each week, you're going to be getting more chances to win. So any questions on that? I kind of botched it up at first, but any questions on that? Yes, Les. No, your spouses can do it. I would encourage your family and friends, they have to be over 18. Another thing is if you did participate in the program that the Daughters of American Revolution did in October, if you did all 75, you cannot use that same email address. But if you only did 10 for them, you can do the others for this organization here. Okay? I appreciate your time. I know we're running over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy. This is a program that, as Nancy pointed out, we participated in last year with Daughters of the American Revolution. So keep in mind that this whole survey program that Nancy just announced is the funds from that will go to support this new 501c that she has just launched, which is the Arizona Veterans Honor Tour. And I think it's a very worthwhile cause. Sit down in the evening, you do 5 of these in the evening, 5 the next evening, 5 the next evening. You start getting a little bored, take a sip of Jack Daniels, do the next 5. I do want to encourage you to consider your presence here for some of the guest speakers that we have coming up in the coming weeks. We have some great programs scheduled, and we certainly hope that you plan to be in attendance to support those speakers and demonstrate our appreciation for their support to our program. Also, next Friday, the 13th of March, we're going to have a show and tell. So those of you that are going to be potentially participating in that, get in your closets or in your attic and pull out something that would be appropriate, an old military item or military surplus or photos that you would like to do a brief presentation on. We've had great receptivity to show and tells in the past. Also, with Operation Epic Fury currently underway, I think this is an opportune time for our group to promote the mission of Red Friday wherever and whenever we are out and about. Wearing a Red Friday shirt daily, not just on Friday, may prompt others to pause for a moment to remember everyone that is currently deployed, those warriors that are in harm's way. So whether it's a black shirt, a blue shirt, a white shirt, or a red shirt, displaying the phrase, remember everyone deployed, we encourage you to promote the message to everyone that you may encounter in your daily outings. Also, regarding red shirts, Barry has a host of shirts that have been returned for those of you that just recently placed orders. John Seaton, Debbie White, Jim Radowick, Steve Breaker, James Buchanan, Michelle Gerard, Fred Hammond, Judy Overmeyer, Jim Simon, and Roger Swope. We have shirts for you to pick up, and if you would like to order them, Barry and Kelly will be here at this table in order to take the orders after we dismiss. I know we're running a little bit over today, but I want to conclude with this very brief video from our Central Command commander on Operation Epic Fury. To our guests, thank you for joining us today. We sincerely hope that you will return to share in our camaraderie and support our mission. Please know that you will always be welcome at our Red Friday assemblies. And as a final reminder, let's not overlook the importance of our Red Friday mission to keep our deployed warfighters in our thoughts and prayers, and to continue to demonstrate our support for these fine men and women. Enjoy your weekend.